One of the things I get asked about a lot on my Twitch stream is, do I need an expensive grinder? And this is a pretty good question because there's a lot of variety out there for grinders and there's a lot of options. So I kind of want to hear from you guys. If you want to leave me a comment, let me know how much you spent on your grinder and how good it is, because most people, they don't get a lot of grinders. They don't try out 10, 20, 30 different ones to find the right one. They just get one that does the job, and as long as it doesn't give them any problems, that's their grinder. Well, I've actually used a lot of different ones. I know there's some out there I haven't used. It can be wild, right? Just adding to your collection, trying to try everything, especially when you can't monetize the dang old content on YouTube. Look, if you're watching this video and you like the content, come get high with me on my Twitch stream. The sesh is at 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can support me for free with the Jeff Bezos weed money. But I've actually been using a really nice grinder since early this year, and I am super thrilled with it. It was actually a recommendation from a bunch of different people in my Twitch chat. I had other creators recommend it, and if you go through and you look up a bunch of lists on best grinders, if you're not on one of those garbage websites where they didn't actually try anything out and you find the people that use the stuff, most people recommend the grinder that I have, and I think it's really good. I got a Grinders for Life Brilliant Cut grinder. I can't really show it here or link it here, but you know we got a Cewpins code on it. If you want a direct link, type !grinder in my Twitch chat or Discord, and there should be a link to it there. That way, hopefully YouTube doesn't ding us. But I've been using their larger grinder. I like the larger ones. Whatever grinder I'm using, I'm gonna want to use the bigger ones. The small ones, I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. I need to put a lot of bud in there. I need to have something bigger to turn in my hands. I got bigger hands. I need a bigger grinder. Now, I'll say that probably for the most part, you might not need an expensive grinder, but you do want to be careful with a lot of the cheap grinders out there. I've seen so many where it's bad, bro. Now, I did have a little bit of experience with the flour mill last year, and that one had some issues with metal shavings in it. I know they came out with an update, but I tried the updated version and I had the same issues, so I don't really mess with that one anymore. But there was another toothless grinder that came out this year. I can't remember what it was called, but it was kind of expensive. If you know the name of that one, leave a comment because I've been looking for it. I, for the life of me, can't remember the name. But a toothless grinder that's not the flour mill. But I've had a lot of experience with cheap grinders that makes me a little bit worried. I got one not too long ago. I did a little unboxing on my Twitch stream, and one of the grinders that I got in the box was painted. I'm like looking at it like, is that paint on there? And I rubbed two pieces of the grinder together and I just saw paint shavings right inside the grinder where your flour would be. And I went, oh, this is toxic. So you do want to avoid the ones that are like multicolored, that look like they're painted. If it looks like it's painted, it probably is. If it's like a solid color aluminum, it might just be anodized aluminum, and that's fine. But if you're getting one and it's like a bunch of different colors, it's got spots on it or a super cool design, ask yourself, is this painted? Because a lot of people that sell stuff, especially online, you're getting stuff on Amazon and Temu and eBay and places like that, they're not testing out the stuff they're selling you. They see a picture and they go, oh, I can make that. Ooh, let's make mine cooler by painting it. So you got to be careful with some of the stuff out there. But the grinder that I've been using for most of this year, the Brilliant Cut, is really nice. And one of the best things about it is it gives you options for your grind plate. You can get small, medium, or large holes on there if you're looking for a finer ground flour or a more coarse ground. Now, I prefer finer ground flour for using like a vaporizer or something like that. I think you get better airflow around more of the bud if it's in smaller pieces. And I think if you use like wraps and rolls, the larger grind plate, the more coarse flour, helps it to burn a little bit slower. I know a lot of people like to break up their wraps and rolls by hand, but I think using a more coarse grinder gives you a similar result. And then the regular size is just like your standard old, it works pretty good and everything. But for the most part, I've just been using the hammer, so we just use the finer plate on there. And the quality is so good. Now, they do make 3-piece grinders only, which is my favorite style of grinder. I know some people like the 4-piece so they can have a keef catch, but I could just go to the store and get fresh keef, and I don't have to worry about some 9-month-old keef that I've been saving and saving. So they make 3-piece grinders. And one of the cool things is they do have a lot of colors for it. They're not painted, but they do have anodized aluminum. So you can get like a multicolor. You can pick the colors of the 3 pieces that you want. I thought this was cool because I've never seen that before on a grinder site. Sometimes they'll have a couple of color options, but you can literally choose your top plate color, your middle grind plate color, and then the bottom color where your flour collects. I think that's cool. The one that I use mostly is gold with a black plate in the middle, but I just got some other ones. I think I'm going to try some tonight. night out on Twitch, I'm going to compare that coarse ground one with the finer ground one on vape pits. I know which one's going to work better, but I just want to see how well the coarse one does. Either way, I hadn't made a video about grinders in a while since that one I made last year, so I figured I could hit you guys with an update here. Again, type exclamation grinder in my Twitch chat or Discord for a link. That's what I've been using, and I think it is really good. Don't forget to use code Cewpins if you're checking it out. Have a lit day, my dudes.